Assume that something's probably gonna happen here in a minute that's gonna require us to use it. Actually, two things are gonna happen. First things first is these kids are gonna... The kids are gonna... Now, they don't tell you to do this, but you actually have to talk to the kids and show them how to use the sword now. Because now this brings up the whole thing again about the monkeys that were in the woods. And... Now's the time... Now, they want to learn how to use the sword so they can go after the monkeys. So, you know, in order to advance the story, you kind of have to agree to it, even though you probably realize it's not a good idea. So, here's your moves. That's a vertical slash. You just swing with B, not a problem. Or no, sorry, that was a horizontal one. The vertical one's when you L-target and swing with B. Both of them do the exact same down to damage. It's not really different. Flex your mouse tab. Basically what you do is you tap L-target B and then you tap the control stick forward while and hit B at the same time, and it'll, you know, just stab the sword forward. I don't really use that attack that much, because I don't really... I use it by accident. Now here's the spin attack. You hold B and then you use it. Now, in this game, it does not use magic power to use that. I don't think there's a... I don't remember in this game if there's a... Yes, this game has an advanced version of the spin attack that I believe does require magic power. And now... my favorite, where you L-target and hit A, the jump attack. That's one of my favorites to use. The jump attack does a crap ton more damage than any of your other attacks, although it's dangerous to use because if you jump and miss, sometimes you'll land on the enemy and go flying back while after getting hit. So you gotta be careful when you use it. And now that we've shown an attack, look at that. One of the monkeys showed up to try to harass people again. But this time, the kids... actually go after it for some reason. And now, obviously, we're going into the woods, so come on, Pony, let's go. I don't know why Pony was sitting there the whole time, so let's... Hey, Colin. Oh, by the way, Colin blocks you from going back into the village. You have to go after them in the woods. And Colin's kind of the good guy. He's kind of the outcast of the group. He doesn't really like to get himself into adventuring stuff, so he kind of just... stays back. Now, you see Beth can't keep up. You didn't make it that far in the first place. I mean, you didn't even get to the woods. And what the... Mallow, what the heck, man? Yeah, and Mallow, when he says the rest is up to you, it kind of sounds creepy. It almost sounds like that they think Talow's like dead or something. Well, guess what? Tallow makes it way farther than the other two. Oh god, he goes really far. He has way too much energy, because you can see now, and you probably recognize this from the opening cutscene of the game, this is Farron Woods. This is the actual woods, and you can... And obviously we have to run after Tallow. Obviously he went in here somewhere. Alright, let's go over here and see. Oh, man. We've got ourselves a wild chase here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a wild chase. And we're like just barely in the game now. Now Tallow actually went that way into the cave, but you can't go in that cave without a lantern because it's too dark. So where'd you get a lantern from, though? Well, this guy looks like he might have a lantern. In fact, he mentions it. He mentions that, you know, there's cave stuff that are pretty dark during the day, which makes sense, and he gives you a lantern. I see. So this is... The lantern, obviously not a weapon, but it's somewhat of an important equip item. So, I say somewhat because this game, unlike like the original Zelda, doesn't, in Zelda 2, doesn't really utilize dark areas that much. Well, I'm not as much in dungeons. There's two separate areas in the game, I believe. There's two or three. I think there's two separate areas in the game that have caves known as Lantern Caverns for a reason. But other than that, I mean, there's very few places. So I guess that's why they made two caves dedicated to them. That would explain it, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's go into the woods now. Ah, Deku Baba! The Deku Babas, of course, you'll recognize from other Zelda games. That one resembles the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask one. Of course, they don't drop Deku sticks because this game doesn't have Deku sticks. They drop Deku seeds that have slingshot seeds in them. Deku nuts that have slingshot seeds in them. Uh-oh. Talon's sword is lying on the... Tallow. God, Talon's that... The owner of Lon Lon Ranch. What am I thinking about? Oh, God. Anyway, Tallow's sword's lying on the ground. Now, you know that can't mean anything good. Now, you see we got a dark cave here. Now, you wouldn't be able to see anything at all if you didn't have the lantern. All you'd see is the bats flying after you. This cave actually doesn't have a lot for enemies, even though it looks like it would. I mean, you see the Deku Baba there. It's got some bats. Bats, rats, and babas is basically what we got in the cave. And a web. The web's misleading. There actually aren't any spiders in this cave. Like you think there would be. Don't worry, there are Skuldalas in the game. They're just later on, and there's nothing really important over that way. There's a red rupee, but I won't need it. So we'll just go ahead and skip that and head out. Now you can see here's the end of the cave. You can see the light, and now we're in the meat. Now we're in the meat of Farron Woods. This is kind of the real woods area, if you call it. So we gotta find Talons here somewhere. And what the fuck? Man, look at that guy! Look at that guy run! Man, look at him! He's athletically fit. These guys are the Bokoblins. You'll probably recognize them. They look pretty similar to the Bokoblins in Wind Waker. Except, of course, this isn't cell-shaded graphics, for those of us who know how to speak English. So they look a little bit more realistic, like actual imps, but they come after you, and they're just easy to kill as ever. Except in this game, I think they only come in the blue variety. I don't remember any red or green or dark or anything like that. Alright, so let's go through the gate. Wait a minute. What the? Without a key, you can operate. What? Great. So the gate to the next part of the woods is locked. So how are we gonna find out what Tallow is doing? Well, this is one interesting little thing actually about the game. There's a couple occasions where there actually are keys you have to in the overworld you have to use to open gates. I don't know if this is not the first time there's technically been keys outside the dungeons, because in the original Zelda you could always buy keys from the stores, but this is the first time it's actually necessary to have to get a key outside of a dungeon. I think. I may be wrong on that. Because I haven't played Link's Awakening or the Oracle games. Maybe there's something like that. No, but maybe I'm just remembering something. I'm not remembering something. Anyway, so let's try going in here. Come on, get out of here, Keese. Oh yeah, by the way, those bats are called Keese. You probably recognize them from every other Zelda game. They're just the bats that fly around. They're not hard to kill. Of course, it would help if I had a longer range weapon. Well, I could use my slingshot, but I mean a long range weapon that doesn't use ammo. And there's the key that opens the gate to Deep Farron Woods, as I like to call it. But now, and you can see there's two torches next to this chest. I actually missed this the first time I played the game. I did not even notice either torch. I didn't light them. And why do you light them? Because there's a chest, and guess what? Here you go. Piece of Heart number 1. Now, this game has 8 dungeons in it, which would mean you would think, well, there's a lack of pieces of heart, because there was only like 24, I think, in Link to the Past. No, this game actually ramps up the number of pieces of heart in the game by actually making it so you need 5 to complete a heart container this time instead of 4. So there are 45 pieces of heart in this game to collect. However, there's a kicker to it, which you'll find out later. But for now, just know there's 45 pieces of heart. Alright, so let's go back to Z Gate. Get out of here, bat. You know, if you're that determined to, you know, that bat was that determined to hit me. He followed me halfway across the map there. And you can see, the Bokoblins must have been really guarding that gate, because they had 2 on one side guarding the gate, and then another guy keeping people from getting out of this area. And they had 1 on this. So basically, they really didn't want anybody in this area for some reason. And you can see 2 Bokoblins are apparently talking to each other in some language. I don't know what it is, but let's Let's get them out of my way. And you can buy some, well, and up ahead, there's a store over there. You can actually buy some lantern oil, which... What am I doing? There's a fucking slingshot seeds. They're not gonna hurt the guy. They're little tiny seeds. Anyway, pick up the rupees, try to walk away, and this bird named Trill tries to use advertising by saying, "Hey, you're great. Thanks for killing the enemies. Buy something." Well, all he sells is lantern oil and red potion, which there's so many better potions you can hold in your bottles besides a red one in this game, so you don't really need them. Anyway, oh no, Tallow! Yes, you can see Tallow made it all the way to here, but he and the monkey are captured in some kind of wooden cage, and there's two bokoblins that are guarding the way. That's probably why the bokoblins didn't want anybody getting in here, because they knew they captured a young kid and a monkey. That doesn't sound right, does it? No, it doesn't, but... Alright, so you kill the bokoblins, but... Wait a minute, the cage doesn't break open. What the heck? So killing the enemies doesn't free them? And you can see they're not even paying attention that you're standing there. The way you what you do is you can swing at the cage like that and break it open, or you can just spin attack it and it breaks it open in one hit. And now you can see Tallow is saved, and the monkey is just jumping up and down for joy. That monkey is so happy to be free. And Tallow is now feeling like an idiot for getting captured. I'm sorry. No, she's saying I'm sorry. Oh, so the monkeys aren't evil. They're actually pretty nice, huh? It's almost like they were coming to your village to try to tell you something was wrong in the woods. Huh. I'm sure it's not important. But anyway, hello, Russell. And you can see now that Colin ended up being a tattletale and telling on them from running into the woods. And by the way... And see, you can tell, even Russell can tell that there's something strange going on in the woods. I mean, obviously, there's enemies everywhere. And, by the way, now tomorrow, you're finally going to be leaving for Hyrule, by the way. I don't know time-wise, as he makes a joke about me and Princess Zelda and laughs. Yeah, right, I ain't going to meet her. I'm just going there to deliver something and leave. I can't stay to get all googly-eyed and say, "Oh my god, it's Princess Zelda." Anyway, so... You can see it's now the next day, but this is something I'm wondering about. See Link sitting in the goat pasture. I kind of wonder, how many days has it actually been since the game started? Like, I don't know, because it's like I mean... I know it says, hey, it's that time when they say, hey, it's morning, and then you go into the village, but is that like the same, is this the same day? So I guess it's only been 2 days later. Anyway, so before you leave, unfortunately, you still have to do your damn chores for some reason. So, you use that grass to call upon you, and now you can try and herd the goats again. This time there's 20 instead of 10, and you notice I mentioned that only the first time you do it there's no timer. The second and third time there is a timer, and the third time you'll do this the third time later in the game, and you can get a piece of heart if you do it fast enough. But let's see how fast I can do it this time. I don't know. Come on. Alright, see, I got them all real close to the barn. That's... Wow, man, goat in. Heh, goat in. It sounds like the goats. This barn is actually a hotel. Man, 46.93 seconds. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey, we got that chore done quickly. 2:14 faster than usual? What the hell? Did it usually take me 3 minutes to do that? I must have gotten smarter about how to herd the goats all of a sudden. Alright, well, let's head back so we can get ready for our trip to Hyrule.